I feel you. And Tank said the same thing that you saying. He said it after the fight. He said, 1 minute they love you, the next minute they hate you. He was like, it's crazy, something like that. But what preceded that was him telling you about hair grease dripping in his eye. That sounds so ridiculous, my nigga. Like, even if it's true, tell
Don't
me
say
that
it.
that shit don't
Don't say
sound
it. Yeah,
so
don't say it.
ridiculous. Like, my nigga,
I just
like,
got my braids done, and
just don't even say, like,
And,
you don't even need to give him an explanation like that. Like, oh man, something was in my eye. I don't know. Like,
and then hey, look,
but
and,
but 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 if we on
this
if
is
we on
this is
if
the
we
social
on that,
media era. This is
if we on that, and if we're on that and we want to be real and talk about the history of boxing, Muhammad Ali, when he fought Liston, they said Liston wiped some shit in his eyes off of his glove. Ali fought through the shit, won the fight. So it's like, this ain't the first time this didn't happen to, you know what I mean? Like, you gonna have people make those kind of comparisons and draw back to the history of boxing if you really follow like that. If you don't, you just gonna look like, did this dude just say something about hair grease falling in it, dripping
hey,
in his eye, or hair
wait.
chemicals dripping in his
Oh,
eye?
oh, I'm sorry, man. You got to highlight George's comment, the second to last one, about that Deontay Wilder. It mentioned what the hell Deontay Wilder said after he lost when he came to the ring and all that heavy
in
shit.
that
Hey,
200 pound,
hey,
200 pound get
hey,
up.
hey. And didn't that sound ridiculous when he was talking about that? You look ridiculous, you sound ridiculous. Nigga, this is boxing. Like, what the fuck is going on? And look, Wilder could probably knock every single one of us out. It don't matter. I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you what I see, my nigga.
Hey,
Like,
hey, cold part. Hey, his equilibrium was off that whole fight. You talking about
right.
Beyonce? That
Hey,
motherfucker was
hey,
bubbling,
hey, you
bubbling.
talk hey, you talk about sweat it out, nigga. That nigga sweated that shit out before he took a step
Oh
in the
man,
ring.
one nigga showed up like the brothers in Game of Thrones,
Dog.
Hey,
fighting
and,
at the
and, and look, and here's a
niggas
cold
fighting at
part.
the end of the armor.
Talking about the social media era. Now I don't know how real this account was, but I believe the hairstylist came out and said we did the hair on Wednesday. He did practice,
And
press
did
run,
mm.
and grease was not an issue. So all of a sudden, like now, damn, the hairdresser got to defend herself too. Like, hold on, nigga, don't blame me. Talking about it's too greasy. Like, you know, everybody covering their tracks. So just to cover my tracks too.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Cover him. Cover
I'm,
him.
I'm covering my tracks on that Jay Z shit. It was politics as usual,
Okay.
Okay,
right?
okay,
I'm
okay,
taking wages down in Vegas
okay,
just in case Tyson have a major night off. That's clean money, the tax write off. You dig? Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. That's politics as usual. Politics as
okay.
usual. But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
So what I was gonna add too, man, is, so Tank, I agree with you, Bong, as far as like the world could switch up on you, right? So I'm not saying that Tank got his ass whooped. That didn't happen. It was a close fight. It could have been called a draw. It could have gone either way as far as I was concerned. It just depends on, you know, how a judge actually scores, because I saw one dude break it down and said, "Hey, he had the numbers. He said they landed the same amount of punches this round. So then I'm gonna go to who landed more power punches." And then he
Mm.
was giving the round to the boxer who landed more power punches. So, we lost Bong. I don't know what happened. Um, so
Oh no, I
that's
think he turned his camera. Oh, did he
that
turn it off?
that's kind of, yeah, it looks like he did. That's
Oh,
kind of how I was looking at it. Like, it's really close, right?
yeah,
But as
yeah.
far as the post, that the short that was made about the Shakur fight, so I've always said that I would give the edge to Tank. I said it in the short. Now, if you go through all those comments, you will see I'm saying it would be closer than what people think, though.
Yeah.
And I'm saying 55-45. There's some people who are on the side of it's a 50-50 fight. I say 55-45 on the side of in favor of Tank because of the punching power,
Yeah.
right? But who's to say, which I asked a couple people, who's to say Tank doesn't, the scenario I threw out to one guy is exactly what happened with him and Roach. Who's to say Tank doesn't start off slow and then Shakur banks a lot of rounds and then he's not able to take him out in the late rounds and Shakur steals like one or two.
Yeah.
You're in the same position and you
Absolutely.
could lose that fight. And
Yeah.
and people think Shakur is even more of a great defender than Lamont, Roach, or anybody else that Tank has ever seen. That's what they credit Shakur Stevenson for, is his defense. And that's exactly why people are saying this is an example of why Tank doesn't want to fight Shakur, because they believe that this will be the same type of fight, if not worse for him, because of Shakur's defensive prowess. I still, with all that being said, I'm still giving the edge to Tank because of the punching power.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten more aggressive, like you said, KP, if he would have gotten more aggressive in the later rounds, or let's say that knockout happened and he got more aggressive, then he may have gone for the knockout. He may have pressed Roach a little bit more, and it could have been a different type of scenario. But I mean,
So, sorry, I had a little situation, but
you had the
um,
boxing nigga in the back.
I wish. Um, so I heard you saying that that Tank was saying that the rematch um, is not on his list of next things to do. Listen, man, if you just fought somebody that stylistically pushed you to the limit, or or did things that made you uncomfortable, I would stay away from that.
That's not what he said.
Oh, that's not.
Hell,
I thought he
hell
was saying
no.
that he wasn't going to fight him.
Fuck no. He said he want to run it back. He
Oh,
said he want to run it back in the ring. He said he want to run it back in the press conference. They said he was already in the locker room saying he ain't gonna take no time off. He said he gonna take like a couple days and then he getting right back in the gym to
Mm.
train. So it sounds like he wants the rematch.
so if that's the case, here's the funny thing. If that's the case, who does that sound like in recent memory?
Listen, I
Floyd Mayweather with Maidana.
okay, because I was about to take you back for a rematch that I recall, but it wasn't. It wasn't because the nigga requested it, and that was Montel Griffith with Roy Jones Jr. when
Oh yeah.
Roy Jones got disqualified, and Griffin was talking all that shit, and then Roy Jones came and made mincemeat of that nigga early in the fight.
Oh yeah.
But you're right, the Maidana and Floyd Mayweather. So I hear you.
Now, um, a lot has been said about Turkey, right? And that with that Arab, that Middle Eastern money, and how he's tossing the money around and getting us to
Right.
the fights that we want to see. He's basically doing what Dana White has done with UFC, except
Mhm.
he's also paying guys,
I was
right?
gonna
So like
say, yeah, except
they're
for he
getting
actually paying the motherfuckers.
they're getting paid. So like the issue,
They ain't just getting McDonald's points on the app for
right?
fighting niggas.
Exactly, right. And hey, you get Big Macs for a year if you win fight of the night. Oh,
Right.
Ronald McDonald ass nigga.
Yeah.
So again, the thing with boxing was they were saying like, hey, Al Heyman is paying fighters, but he's not giving us the fights that we want. Then they said, hey, UFC is giving us the fights that we want, but they treat their fighters like shit. Matter of fact, a lot of them started defecting and started going to fight boxers, right? But at the end of the day, if Turkey can get us the fights that we want, and again, Tank Davis is not on Turkey's. He's not like he doesn't have anything in the ring with Tank Davis, right? And I think he was talking about Tank Davis and how he's never seen as much money as Crawford has made, and you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
or Crawford is scheduled
Maybe
to
not.
make fucking with Turkey, and that he understands why he would be salty, but maybe he could do something in the future. So we'll see how that plays out, man. What I will say is Turkey is actually shaking up the boxing, is shaking up the game of boxing because now Al Heyman, you can't sit players on the sideline anymore. We don't want to see that shit no more. This motherfucker's over here making real fights, making credible fights. You, Bob Arum, is Bob Arum still doing shit?
Uh,
Well, I don't know.
yeah, but I mean,
This
a lot of
old ass
people are,
motherfucker.
a lot of people are like moving away from him though, like, or at least trying to like. But he's, I mean, Shakur Stevenson said something about him, um, where he was just like he says things that don't necessarily promote the fighters. Like he's not necessarily doing the job of a promoter. He's sometimes speaking and giving his opinion, and it's a detriment to actually making big fights happen. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
yeah. So, I mean, listen, I'll say this: Tank. It's a lot of motherfuckers starting to, etch that stone on your headstone for you, right? They starting to put the
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, put the hammer to the screw and put that Tank Davis headstone with the, born and died.
The
So
sunrise, sunset.
yeah.
exactly. Like they do my boy Ricky from Boys in the Hood every year. They give us that sunrise sunset. But if you are dedicated and you want to take on this rematch,
Hmm.
and if he does, I think Tank is going to beat the shit out of Lamont Roach the second time around. Because if you can't beat him the second time around, then it's one of two things. Either you really are that close to retirement where you can't put guys away like you once did, or this is just a Styles makes fight type of matchup that you just
Hmm.
couldn't win. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
But if he wants to take the rematch right away, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? It shows that he's dedicated to the sport.
And we got George who said a couple things. He brought up a good point. He says Top Rank is still moving as far as Bob Arum. Bob Arum still has an ESPN contract, and he does. And as a matter of fact, that reminds me, like, he's got one of the best up and coming fighters in Abdullah Mason. And he's been fighting, and I think he may have been on some of those ESPN cards, George. So Bob Arum is still in the game. The point I was making is that there are some veteran fighters. I think Tyson Fury's with them also, but there's some other veteran fighters who are like, they don't want to rock with him, and I think Bud was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now to your point, Ubang, he's rocking with Turkey and getting more money, or so they say, than he's ever seen. I don't see the contracts, but you know, that's what he says, that's what they say, and that's the vibe around it, that they are trying to make the fights that people don't normally make or wouldn't normally make. But um as far as Tank goes though, I just wanted to be clear that I still would give him the edge against Roach in a rematch. I would give him the edge. In a fight with Shakur, I would give him the edge. At the same time, I'm not just saying that he's rolling over these people, right? And as far as you touched on something earlier, Bong, pause, but you had said something about him talking about Bud would be a challenge, but it was the weight or something like that,
Yeah,
or
only
because of the weight.
because of his size. Stop it. Yeah, I mean,
That, that
I get,
right. That
but
and that's what I'm
but you can
saying. Like,
also tell that that's because he's had back and forths. He's had these, they have exchanges on social media with Bud, and remember,
yeah,
Shakur
he don't
Shakur
he
is
don't
in
like him.
Shakur is Bud's boy, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, that's
again, so
his
you got
protege
Shakur, you got
basically.
Bud, so he basically like, man, fuck all y'all. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I thought Shakur and Tank used to be cool though.
Um, I mean, they all are until it's time to start talking about who's
Yeah.
best, and then people
Yeah.
start talking all of that shit.
And then it kind of
And
goes off the rails.
absolutely. But see, the thing is, you know, again, and I know we don't want to spend the whole night on this, but Bong, you said some shit about Keyshawn Davis earlier. He just won the belt at lightweight.
Yeah. No, Keyshawn, he looked
Sha-
good doing it.
Shakur has a belt at lightweight. Those two say they don't want to fight each other. Now they're cool, and they
Yeah.
say they don't want to fight each other. Who else has a belt?
Hey.
Tank, you got a belt. Like
Yeah.
y'all all you guys are all in the same division. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody got to move up or move down. So
Unify that shit.
my point about you talking about the weight is like stop. Okay, fuck the weight. Don't talk about Bud in, which you shouldn't be anyway. Just talk about the people that are in the division.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole lot of fights to be made in that division.
And here, and not to pivot, but speaking of Bud, what has happened to Earl Spence since that Bud fight is crazy as hell. This nigga basically, it's almost like this nigga fell off the face of the earth. Every time I see this nigga just look like he don't have no confidence. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with
Well, well,
me?
and you, well, he's he was supposed to fight Fendora, Sebastian Fendora, and I think he was saying something about PEDs and stuff like that. So I don't know how true it is
Oh,
and all of that. That Spence been saying a lot of stuff about people using performance enhancements in boxing.
hold on, alluding to Tank. You,
No, no, no,
oh,
no, no, no.
oh,
I said he was supposed to fight Sebastian Fendora.
oh, okay, got you. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah. So,
no,
but he's been talking about boxing and how he's been saying a lot how
man,
promoters ain't for the fighters and people
Mm.
using PEDs like boxing is like
Bernard
trash now. A lot of the stuff that they doing now.
Bernard Hopkins, he speaks about this a lot. Um, if you ever hear him talk about it, it's interesting. Where he talks about like the like the like the toll that taking a loss that like Spence took to Crawford, the toll it takes on your body and the toll it takes on your mind as a fighter, and how like that loss took something from Spence that he'll never get back. You know what I'm saying? The way Tank beat him. And it's true. Like he doesn't look the same. He walks around like he doesn't have confidence anymore, right?
Mm.
Um, Bud really beat the shit out of his ass. And it wasn't even close. And he just hasn't looked the same. And I don't know if he'll ever look the same or if he'll ever have another big fight. Like that was how long ago was that fight? With him and Bud.
Man,
That
it's
2
crazy.
years ago,
Yeah,
like 2 years.
boxing be. I mean, the years be moving so fast, man. Like
That was like 2 years ago, wasn't
I know Crawford has only had one fight since, so one fight at 154.
it?
Yeah. So I mean, that's crazy that Spence isn't even trying to get that smell off of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man, go get you a little tune up fight. Go fight you a janitor or a PE teacher or a baker. You know what I'm saying?
Do it
Go get
like
somebody in the ring that's just gonna make you feel good. Baby, I just want
do it
that
do it like
feeling
yeah,
back.
do it
I
like
want that
George
feeling
Foreman after he lost to Ali. He fought 6 guys in one day. Do, do it like that.
back. Yeah, man. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I
But
wanted to go back and clarify something. George, you said wrong that Keyshawn called Bud out. What part were you saying was wrong? You said I mean Keyshawn called Tank out after he won last week? And if what I was saying is that it's Tank that's not fight like making the fights happen at lightweight in that division. Like he could like that Shakur fight if it's and listen, again, even though I give Tank the edge, this is what I always wonder. If a fight is so easy for you and you think you'll just blow by somebody and it's easy money. No, no, no. I didn't say Keyshawn didn't call Tank out. I said Tank isn't fighting the people in lightweight. Um and again, if it's so easy, like everybody thinks he'll just mow over Shakur, that's a money fight. And if it's an
big
easy night
money.
for you, get the money.
Take the fight.
I
Yeah.
don't understand
Oh, I think DP froze
His
on us.
ass
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
Okay,
You said
now
what, KP?
You was
I think he
glitching,
froze
man.
up.
Oh,
Come on.
now I'm glitching.
Yeah,
Make
I'm
sure.
you
glitch.
come
I'm
on.
glitch cup check now.
Yeah, man. Mitch Glitchman, man. Come on, man.
Oh man. No, I said I don't see why cats just don't make the fights. Why these fighters just don't make those fights. Bong, you agreed, like the Shakur fight, that's a money fight.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
a
it's
big money
so
fight.
easy, if it's so easy, what is why not? I know the business side of it and the promoters get in the way sometimes, but if you're the fighter and that's what you want, make it happen.
When you froze up, hey, again, hey, listen,
My
if y'all
eyes
rocking
must have
with
been
us right
bugged
now,
or something.
please like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. You know
What
what I'm saying?
KP Wi-Fi
Absolutely. Come on,
Wi-Fi is
man.
on point today. Got to give props. Shout out to it.
Absolutely. Come on,
Hey,
engineer.
hey, engineer, you've been in through the good times and bad.
Come on.
Hell yeah. Hey, look like
hey,
KP.
hey, hey, and
KP's Wi-Fi got a fresh haircut.
oh, for sure.
Woo, crispy. It's crispy.
George said I look like I saw an extraterrestrial. Man, eyes must have been bugged, huh?
Nah, see what happens is, I'm that guy at the free throw line that's been knocking the free throws down all day, and the announcers like he can't miss. That's engineer right now. Engineer just put a damn hex on the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Right,
and
right,
now
right.
it's gonna be like,
Yeah, next 5 minutes, man. I'm gonna be pop locking.
Hey man,
oh shit.
I really want to shoot a shout out to my boy George, man, for really, like, this is boxing is really what he does. Like, that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? So um, him getting in here and having a little back and forth with us, and bringing one of his boys in here, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.